We have Bear versus Radioactive one. Breaar, Breaar, Breaar.
Breaar.
I know nothing about Marceline.
Breaar.
But that was not on my call sheet. That was not on my weekly homework.
Yeah, I know very little about Marceline as well, except she has one hell of an elbow. Elbow is really fire if it connects, so you just want to stay away from that. It's really more so just it's really fun to hit than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Really fun to land.
And then something that you might have just noticed for the first time if you haven't been paying attention. Those are shields. We do have shields on at this tournament as we see a couple of projectiles flying left and right from the bugs. Kind of standard. You're seeing your acne rockets, you're seeing your safes get pulled out. But Marceline is having the better of the times here, already putting bugs at 100 heat. Bugs trying to get something started, but the safe is countered. And Bugs flies off the top. Marceline up a full stock. Brear's probably feeling pretty good about that.
Gotta be. Bugs is someone who we desperately miss as Breaar is able to
Excuse me?
an early second stock. I mean, what?
I don't know what you think an elbow is, Jeez. But that seemed pretty good to hit. I don't think that was her elbow.
No, that definitely was not the elbow. That was no, the elbow drop is very obvious when it happens.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Kirby Stone, Kirby down B, you know. So you're not gonna throw it all the time, but when it lands, it feels good, you know. That's all.
We see a quick 2-1 lead from Marceline. Brear's doing a really good job of just pressuring that shield. And honestly, the shield coming in clutch there, just not really taking a lot of pressure from Bugs. Breaar does have an extra stock to just kind of play with, so Radioactive, you can tell, is kind of playing a little bit defensively, trying to hunt for those openings. But Breaar knows what Marceline does. And Brear's executing.
Indeed. No, it was very skillful on the side of Breaar. You know, it's nice to see Bugs, right? We don't see enough Bugs these days. In the first half of last season, season 1, we definitely saw quite a bit of Bugs. It was nice, but you know, we missed some of those players. So yeah, we appreciate you, Radioactive, Misty C, yeah, specifically. Misty C was absolutely embarrassing people. I mean, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's nice to see Bugs get back in the fold here.
As we go into game 2, sticking with the same characters, we're going to Sky Arena here. Once again, Radioactive must have felt like it was a fluke. I can do better. Let me show you what I got. And we can see immediately the lead being taken by Bugs, 81-0. As Bugs trying to set up the pressure. I really like the pie juggling that Radioactive has kind of started to set up here. Sometimes changing the trajectory to kind of create a wall of space where Marceline's just like not able to get in. But now putting himself in the corner is actually still so dangerous against anybody. Breaar just full deciding to let Radioactive back on here. 104, that's gonna do it.
Interesting use of jabbing the pie so it kind of moves in like a vertical motion and allowed Radioactive to have the space that he needed to get off that, you know, another combo, and then of course finish with the dynamite. That was pretty heads up. Gotta give props. Now I see a great waste of a sandwich going through that portal. Someone needs to collect that and, you know, just not waste food. You know what I mean? It's so bad. It's so bad to do things like that. Nice parry.
I didn't know that was about the starving kids in Africa.
Of course, of course. You know, food don't grow on trees or whatever. I'm like, well, yeah, yes, it does actually.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's
you're
straight out
also
of
a
smart.
smartass.
Oh man, I was a grade A smartass as a kid. Sorry,
For
mom.
sure.
Sorry. I've already apologized to her.
Bringing it back to 1-1, though Marceline's still in the deficit. It does feel like Radioactive has changed up the timing just enough for these projectiles to be slightly more effective. I like the threat of just the sandwich on the ground. Something that Breaar has to pay attention to as Breaar gets caught out in the air. But Breaar, even if the sandwich is not doing anything, bugs can pick that up instantly and just chuck it, and that's just an option that Breaar has to do. Bugs breaking Marceline's legs, the dash back into the flutter punches, but Marceline able to get their second stock, about a 60-point deficit between Radioactive and Breaar going into game 2. As Breaar's trying to close this out quick and easy, but Radioactive wants to see game 3.
Indeed, definitely doing what he must to stay in this. Take that rocket, take that safe. Rocket connects. Can you get the banana cream pie? That does. But, up air from bugs is something you really just got to be careful of, especially once you get to 95. If you're a light character, you just anytime you see bugs chasing you in the air, you should be clinching something. You know what I mean? But Breaar is definitely not afraid and willing to do what must be done.